We're back to Beatdown, Sherdog Radio Network. TJ DeSantis along with Josh Gross, and joining us now is Nick Diaz. Nick, how you been, man?
How you doing?
Good. Thank you for joining us. So you got a big fight coming up this weekend in Hawaii against Mike Ina. I'll talk about that in just a second. But this is really the first time we talked to you since the Gomi stuff. Congratulations on the performance against Gomi, but the commission took away the win. It's not on your record, but do you still view that fight as a win for yourself, Nick?
Well, yeah, sure. Like when I tap someone out at the gym, it's usually a tap out. I go home feeling like I tapped them out, so it doesn't feel any different to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I had got tapped out and they had turned around and said I won, I'd have felt like shit. I'd have been pretty. I don't know. I would have said something about it even. I'd been like, I lost. You people are stupid and ignorant. But I don't know. Whatever. Rules are rules, right?
Is it still surprising to you that they actually took away the win and turned it into a no decision? I mean, is that something that still surprises you today?
You know what? They're obviously running the show here, dude. So they're gonna do what they want. They own us and they run us and they run it. And I thought this was my sport when I got into it. I was happy about that. I could just it was like freedom, my freedom. Like I was happy that I could do whatever I want and fight my way out of anything. Like I failed at this. Okay, well, I'm gonna go fight my way out. And I failed at that. So all right, well, I'm gonna go fight my way out. And then, these guys, they really put a dent in my momentum here, I was going pretty good, since I was 16 years old. I fought every 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, 3 months. And then they just, more so, disappointing on the win, they put me on suspension, and that's messed up because, that money or whatever that I would make towards, from fighting was gonna, it goes towards my family, and just my overall well-being. You know what I mean? It's not like we make a lot of money doing this, and I work hard trying to fight everybody everywhere, and I got to talk a lot of shit and back up a lot of shit just so that I can get these fights and get paid a decent amount of money, especially because they haven't got their whole. This whole organization hasn't got itself even figured out as far as I'm concerned, especially as far as them not having a pride show right now or whatever, especially with these pride rules in a ring. I don't know what's going on with that, but I want to see some more events with the same exact pride rules and the same pride ring, because this is what makes me enthusiastic about fighting is fighting being fighting, not this fucking cage battle. They got all the best fighters in the world now fighting in a cage, with elbows. It's a big, dirty, cage fucking, battle out, It's like strongest guy wins. Look at Rampage and Rampage and Henderson the other night. It was like, I don't feel like it's a good example. They were both wrestlers, so the one that kept ending up on top more was probably going to win. But, I think that, especially for these strikers that are getting in there now, look, they keep losing, Krokop or whatever, they don't know how to work around a cage. They want to work around a box. They want to work around a ring, and they want to, to practice their whole life fighting in a ring, and all of a sudden you throw them in some cage. I doubt they worked out in a cage, with some assholes before the fight. I don't have a cage at my gym. There's one in Santa Rosa. We go all the way down there, and it's a whole different type of style of fighters over there. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was saying is these people, they put a dent in my whole momentum and really screwed me up, as far as I'm concerned. I could have fought somebody by now, and now here I am. I've trained harder for this fight than I've trained for any other fight ever before, especially considering I basically just pushed through, what would have been a fight 3 months ago. I just pushed through that, kept training through that, and tried to give myself little resting points here and there. But I've been actually going twice as hard this year than I was last year. So I don't know. We'll see how that works out. I guess, you know, I haven't fought for a while. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably going to be pretty tough just because, you know, I'm sure they don't want to send us out to Hawaii and have, you know, have both of their guys take an ass whooping. You know, because I'm pretty confident in my buddy Jake. You know, I'm not really that impressed with Shrudo. So, you know, I mean, actually, I am impressed with his jiu-jitsu, but I'm not really impressed with Shrudo as far as fighter, especially compared to Shields. But
Nick,
I'm betting this guy's a lot tougher than they make him out to be. Whoever this is, I'm fighting.
Yeah,
and
Nick,
I think guys, like, regardless, you know, sometimes they tend to make you look a little like they can make you look bad. You know, like versus like one of these top guys. It's like these some of these top 10 fighters. You know, it's like they're the white meat. You know, or the soft meat. You got to break through the shell first to get to them. You know, and what I'm dealing with here is like a shell. You know. So you gotta fight some of these strong guys. They're good at one thing, and then you get to the easy guys who are good at all three things. Like look at George, for instance. I'm thinking he's like really really good at everything, right? Well, the way I see it is he's not that good at anything because he's not very. You know, the best thing that he has is his athleticism. You know, and so I look at it like. You know, he's not that good at this, not that good at that, and not that good at the other one. He's just really, really, that athleticism fills in the rest of the blanks in those three categories that makes him, you know, one of the best fighters. And then some of these other guys that are well-rounded, too, they're well-rounded, and that did him enough. At one point in time, they pushed themselves hard enough to make it to that certain point where they're at, and that puts them in that top 10. Or whatever. And then a lot of these guys are only good at one thing, you know, and just a little bit good at another one, and they're the hard shell. So you got to work your way around that one thing, you know, back and forth, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu, until you break them down, you know. Mm-hmm. They're one strong point. I think that's how a lot of these fighters are really one-dimensional, and then the good ones are really like, you know, maybe they weren't a wrestler in high school. Because every wrestler I meet is completely, I don't know how to say it without sounding like, you know, sound ridiculous. You know, they're somewhat brainwashed in a sense that not consciously, you know. Just like,
Nick, you know, you're a guy that's pretty well-rounded, and you've
works and the way they move, and it's completely different. They're completely different animals.
We love having you on the show, Nick, because we have to ask one question, and you talk for 10 minutes. It's the best. Let me ask you here. You know, the last 6 months, what's been the most difficult part for you? You know, you're on suspension, you lose your win, people think you're a marijuana addict. Your brother finds great success in The Ultimate Fighter, and you can't be there to support him. You know, what's been the hardest part for you during this time?
Well, just probably I don't staying busy. You know, I wanted to do some more events, something, but there's nothing I can do. It's not like I can box because the people that run the MMA are the people that run the boxing, which I don't understand because they obviously are about one sport. Everybody who's about the one sport doesn't know anything about another sport. So I don't understand how you're trying to have like people run the whole, you know, situation that don't know anything about the sport. That's how I really get screwed up a lot of the time. You know, I don't mean to keep blaming people and saying everyone's oppressing me. I mean, a lot of times it's my fault too. You know, I could have done a little better. I could have fought a little harder or whatever, or whatever. You know, but I'm just saying, like these people half the time they don't know anything about the sport. You got your judges out there. You got your people out there. What was it, you guys that told me it was a Hollywood producer that started this thing? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then now you got it run by a bunch of crooked boxing people, and that's all I hear about. I mean, I don't know anything. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not trying to sound like, you know, the guy that knows everything, because I don't know. But I think some of it needs to be said. I think more people need to come out and say things so that they get brought to the surface, regardless whether they know or what. Even if they just think, you know, I mean, that's how I get my jiu-jitsu done. We're thinking of stuff, we're doing stuff, you know, and then stuff gets brought to the top. You know, like you gotta search for stuff before you can become, you know, conscious of what's really out there. You know what I mean? Like.
Has this experience, Nick? Did this experience change you at all? I mean, has it changed your perspective, or you know, the way that you look at people, or the way that you look at the sport? I mean, has it soured you on the sport at all?
Sure, yeah, sure. I had to come out of my hole and grow up a little bit and understand, like, you know, going on in the world a little bit more. Because what I like about it is to just fighting is I can just kind of live here and do my thing and fight and train and fight and let time go by, and that's just how I can live my life, you know. And then now that I got these people, basically, I feel like telling me how to live my life, you know what I mean? So if I wanted to get loaded every day or something and just train and not talk to anybody and just train and fight and, like, you know, and spend every second of all my time training to fight and just keeping that as my number one, you know, passion or only thing, you know, and then people, you know, it doesn't work out that way. Especially, like, if that was my idea, maybe, like, to sit there and just train all the time and fight all the time. Now they put you know, they put a suspension on me so I can't fight. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all of a sudden you're controlling everything, you know, like, what the hell? And then, okay, maybe so, all right, well, what about Indian Reservation or somewhere that you don't need you can go fight there? Well, everybody wants to make friends with these guys now, you know, because they're the big money. So they've taken over everything. So you can't fight anywhere, you know. I'm like, that's ridiculous, you know. It's like, you got guys fighting on the street, but I can't fight because I smoke pot or something like that, you know.
Right.
And not to mention, for the record, right now, I think somebody needs to come out and say, I think smoking pot is good for mixed martial artists. It's a new day and age. This is the year. Fuck year is it? I don't know, because I've been training smoking pot like I should instead of paying attention to other bullshit, which I don't do. What I do is I fight. So, you know, I get on the ball and I do what I got to do. And if I need to come home and fucking crash out, I don't fucking, you know, I don't drink a bunch of, you know, I don't drink a shot of whatever and pop a bunch of Vicodins like everybody else. I don't see what it is about the way these people want to tell us we're mixed martial artists, right? I mean, you don't tell your musical artists how to write their music, right? I mean, if you told them that and you said, hey, no drugs for you or no alcohol for you or whatever, and you go back in time, you try to find me one musical artist that was any damn good whatsoever. Just think of one right now. I mean, you can't already. Got you right there. You should have been able to think of one in 5 seconds. You know what I mean? That was any damn good without it. I said, fuck no. There is not one person that was any good that was successful at all. If it, you know, unless they were fucking choking to death on their own vomit. Every last one of them. They all were, you know. So I don't know about you guys, but I like my rock stars choking on their own vomit. And you know. So, like, what's it matter anyways? Like, I don't care if guys do steroids. I think that's way worse. You know, like, you got guys out there doing steroids, and then, like, you know, they're on me trying to be on my case for weed. It's like, what about green tea? You know what I mean? It's like, what about whole herbs? You know, because these things aren't dangerous. Like, you take cocaine and you add shit to it and you know, make it into another chemical, and then it's not, you know, and then now it's dangerous. You do some with alcohol, and then now it's dangerous. And then you do, you know, something with all these other medicines, prescription and over-the-counter drugs, and then now they're all dangerous. More people have died from aspirin than a whole bunch of other shit, too, and no one's ever died from smoking, you know. So, but, I mean, they're trying to say, all right, it's performance-enhancing drugs, I'm going to have to, if it's a performance-enhancing drug, I'm going to have to agree with them 100%. So, regardless whether we're going to be smoking any pot and fighting people, I don't think it is a performance-enhancing drug before the fight. That's why I think it's ridiculous that I was suspended for it, because now I wasn't loaded before the fight. It's like just about impossible to get high before the fight unless you're taking in like a food supplement with weed in it.
Yeah, I think that was what the commission was saying, was that
yeah, but that's ridiculous. You know, like there's no way that I was fucking loaded, dude. I went all day. I sat at the UNLV. I wasn't at my hotel. If we were at Mandalay Bay, I could have gone upstairs and got loaded and then came down before we walked into the back room. But I went into the back room and I laid down, and then the dude trying to tell me to take a piss, like really soon, right before I'm going to go out all of a sudden. And they've never done that to me before. And I was like really kind of like couldn't take a piss right at first, you know? So I said, dude, hold on a second. I walked around the circles and I kept warming up. And I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm going to have to take a piss in a minute. And the guy thought maybe I was kind of rude to him or something. So then he started being rude back. He was kind of an asshole, you know? And he was like, hey, no, right now, dude, right now. And I'm like, all right, you know? And so I took it and I was going to go, you know, piss. And then he's standing in front of me and I'm like, fuck, dude, come on, you know? Give me a little room here or whatever, you know, and he's just like running around me in circles, and I'm like, all right, give me another minute, because I actually did need another minute. I was, especially if you're going to be hovering, you know, if you're going to be fucking hovering my dick right now, then I'm going to need just, you know, fucking 30 seconds, a minute or so to fucking, you know, try and piss. And then he takes off, he takes advantage of this and goes back and tells them that I'm not taking the test, and I'm all, whoa, dude, what the fuck? Matt Hume comes back and he starts telling me, he's like, hey, dude, you gotta suck it up and take this test for me, and or he's like, you really gotta suck it up and do this for me, dude. And I'm thinking he's talking about the fight. I'm like, all right, yeah, you know, I'm gonna do it. And he's talking about this drug. I'm like, whoa, no, I told him I'll do it. Sure, fuck, dude, give me that shit. What are you trying to say? You know, because I didn't think they're testing me for some weed. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. I felt like people were thinking like, you know, that I had it in my head that I'm going to get busted for weed and I'm scared. I don't care. I'm like, good, especially if it's like, you know, if we can make a point out of it or whatever, then fine. If I can go and be the guy to tell the whole world that smoking pot's good for you, good fucking gravy. Because, you know what I mean? I was, where was I at? What was I saying? Hello?
Hey, Nick, I just, you know, you feel obviously very strongly about this, and I'm curious, what's more important to you? I mean, is fighting more important to you, or is the ability to do what you want and smoke pot?
I gotta do to get by, buddy. All right, I'm gonna rock it and I'm gonna roll it, and I don't really give a fuck right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit, dude. I'll fight anybody. Why do you think I'll fight anybody? Because I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't give a shit. I live at home with my parents. There are no women around here at all. There are no girls. I see girls once on the weekends if I don't have a fight. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking ridiculous. I'm over here in this fight, you know, trying to make some money. You know, fucking, I don't know. I'm just rolling here. But whatever, you know, we can do whatever. So whatever's more important, I don't know. But what's important to me is that you know, I leave just people that don't think I'm a joke, because I'm not a joke. I'll fucking whoop your ass, you know. So what, you know? And that got me as far as it got me now. So if it's not now because we smoke pot, I'm like, wow, that's what got us here. You know what I mean? Smoking weed might have got us here. I mean, if you're not hanging out with your friends doing martial arts in the backyard and smoking weed and other shit like that, you might not be a mixed martial artist when you get older. You know, if you are, you might be a big fucking pussy because you hung out with the wrong homies that fucking are you know. I think, you know, making weed illegal is a little bit paranoid, don't you think? It's like saying God made a mistake. You know what I mean? It's like you've got the whole world and earth and all its holy creations, right? And God's like, look at my whole world and all its holy ways. He's like, oh my me, oh shit, I left weed in here. Yeah, right. You know, he's like, I left weed in here. Shouldn't have smoked that joint on the third day. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? You think he forgot or something? You know, I mean, just looking at it from a religious point of view or anything, or something like that. You know, and then it's like, oh, fuck, now he's got to create Republicans or something, right? Or or whatnot. I don't know anything about it, dude. I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. I'm just fucking irritated that I get suspended and put a dent in my career because I want to smoke some weed, you know. And I can pass the fucking drug test, you know what I mean? I'm addicted to marijuana. I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. It's whether or not I would rather quit smoking marijuana. And I could I could be at this point in time. I'm success. I feel pretty what's the word? Content with what I've done in my lifetime, because I've done way times 10 more than I ever thought I would amount to. Okay, I could fucking live in Santa Cruz on the beach, fucking smoking weed, fucking living in a fucking tent for 2 years for all I give a shit. I don't care, especially after you guys drop me fucking 10 grand on a sponsorship or some shit like that. You know, I'll hold on to that for a couple of years and fucking eat some organic food, fucking chilling on the side of a road. I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Why don't you care?
As long as they'll let me, I will fucking whoop people's asses, and I will live off it, and I will get paid for it, and I will do it for the good of mankind. I'll do it for the good of my family. I'll do it for the good, you know what I mean? For whatever else that I want to stand up for, that I believe in, which isn't very much. So I don't see why there's such a problem with it, you know. But whatever, you know. I mean, hey,
think, Nick, I think the commissions and stuff have a hard time with it, obviously, because it's illegal, and B, it's a way that, you know, mixed martial arts is a professional sport now. Fighters are professional athletes.
But it's not illegal if you have a prescription, dude.
Do you have a prescription?
Huh?
Do you have a prescription?
Maybe I do.
All right. Well, my thing is, though, is the commissions, you know, as a professional athlete now, don't you feel that, you know, you have responsibilities as a professional athlete to a certain extent? You're in the public's eye. Doesn't that mean maybe you need to clean up your act a little bit more, or act a certain way?
Yeah, but what if I think the public eye needs to clean up their act a little bit more? And that sounds stupid because I'm a stupid fighter and I didn't go to school, right? Well, maybe I didn't go to school long enough to learn enough to know that, you know, I'm not a fucking sheep, and they've got some control over some people's way of thinking, and it's pretty fucking strong, and it doesn't make any damn sense. Like, for instance, they shove chemicals down your children's throats from second grade, first grade on. I don't know if you knew about that, but they shove methamphetamines down your kids' throats. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It goes right in those fuckers, and they're like, oh, no, we got the best ADD and ADHD doctor around. We got the best one around. And I'm like, yeah, because he gets that fucking chemical into every one of these damn kids on the block. You go to their school, open up the fucking the medicine cupboard, and you got 20 different kinds of Prozacs and fucking and Paxils and fucking antidepressants and Ritalins and Adderalls and all this fucking methamphetamines and weird fucking crazy shit that actually takes a strong effect on you. You know, like I've dated chicks that taken this shit. You know, and these idiots, they'll give them trial packs. It's like, what they don't tell you is that you have to, like, gradually stop taking some of these medicines too. You know, and you act like these people, you know, they know how your body is going to respond to them. They know you, and then they just prescribe it right up the ass. And then, you know, there's side effects to that shit too. It's like, it's all, I could go on and on about it. It fucking drives me insane. They could prescribe some fucking people, half the people, some pot, and they would shut up about everything. You know what I mean? It's like, but no, you want to take some Vicodin, you want to take some fucking antidepressants, you want to go into to a little shell and fucking everybody thinks you're weird. Next thing you know, you're taking prescription drugs. Prescription drugs and alcohol have killed more people than any of that shit ever will. So. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then they're giving this to your children. It's just like the food. You know what I mean? It's like, we're always going about it for a theme. Look at Vegas. You go to Vegas. Vegas is a fucking theme, dude, and that shit doesn't fool me. Every fighter I know wants to move there and wants to live there. They're fucking, you gotta be kidding me. These fucking assholes. I'm like, you guys, I love it, because they're that dumb. I'm like, I can't wait to fight them. They're so stupid. They you know, they thrive off these big fucking fake titty mutant chicks that are fucking disgusting whores, every last one of them. They're all trying to do something to get somewhere. If they're up there, they're trying to fucking do it up while their old man's somewhere else. Or it's just like, and regardless, you're there you're there, like, if I were there, I'd be there to meet some people, you know, like some endorsement deals, some things, or whatnot. These people, they end up wanting to live there and move there. All they do is go out and drink, and they all drink. They all, even the ones that, like, even the athletes there that don't drink, the other ones force them into drinking, and they don't go out and stand around and drink water like I do. You know, I've seen them, you know, and they all fucking move to Vegas, and they go to these clubs, and it's just like, dude, you are fucking kidding me, you know? Like, I feel like I could go out there or live somewhere in a place like that. Probably not in that place ever. I could hardly stay there for a fucking week. I hate it there, honestly. And then, you know, and then make some money for myself. Move back here to some fucking some little spot. You know what I mean? Where there's fucking a vineyard on the side of it, and I can shoot rabbits outside my door with a shotgun, and nobody's gonna say shit to me. You know what I mean? That would make me happy. You know what I mean? But everybody over here is just like, oh, gotta get out of here, gotta get out of Lodi, gotta get out of Stockton, gotta move to Vegas, you know, or if you're a fighter somewhere, like, I want to train in Vegas. These people, nobody cares about each other over there either. There's no team unity over there. Those people are all like, oh yeah, we might fight each other someday, and they got this crazy hair with fucking red hair on the side and the blue hair on the side. And I'm a fighter, so when they walk into the club, oh, you're one of those fighter types, right? You know, and it's like, yeah, we party out here, and you're just like, dude, they're all popping Vicodin and eating McDonald's and fucking, and, you know, and they get away with it. But people harass me and tell me I need to clean up my act or something, or what is it again? What you're saying?
I was just saying
like,
that the commission.
What is the deal? Tell me so I know, because nobody tells me anything. So I've been 16 since I got into this game. And I've been keeping my eye open, but I mean, no one's really trying to tell me nothing here, you know. So what do you think? I'm
not going to tell you anything. I'm just saying, you know.
You were though. You were just telling me how maybe you think that I should clean up my act, or don't I think that I should, or something.
Well, I was asking you because, you know, the way professional athletes are looked upon in the public eye, you know, they have to live up to the public's expectations. My question was, do you feel that you need to clean up your act to live up to the public's, you know, perception, because perception is key in MMA. Obviously, a combat sport has a negative perception to, you know, new fans and you know, people that don't know much about the sport, and then now they're hearing about fighters testing positive for steroids and marijuana.
Yeah, but dude, they're already hearing about fighters, and fighters are already fucking so different. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, this is a new day and age. That's what I'm talking about. This is not 1995. This is 2007. We're gonna be 2010. This is the future, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we're going to keep it ignorant. We're going to keep this ignorance. I'm sure a lot of martial artists smoked a lot of weed, dude, that nobody knows about, nobody wants to talk about, because it was way worse than it is right now. And I think this conversation might be helping things just a little bit.
Nick, Nick, I guess my question is, and I sort of asked you earlier, but, you know, if the commission comes to you and you know what they're going to tell you, you're already suspended. You couldn't fight for the last 6 months. If they tell you, look, it's either fighting or smoking pot, which one are you choosing?
Well, I'm going to have to pass the fucking drug test, which will probably take me 2 weeks. So that shouldn't be a problem, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Seeing as all my friends pass their fucking drug tests, work at banks and work at whatever else, and they pass their drug test in a week or two if they want to. You know? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't see a problem with that. I'll flush my system out quicker than fucking anybody else that works 7 days a week in a job and not sweating fucking 7 pounds a day in a gym. You know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about their little testes. You know, they want to start taking my hair out of my head. That's another story. Whatever the fuck, I don't know. That's pretty fucking crazy that you start going to that drastic measures, you know, to get me or whatever. You know, it's like, dude. But the fact of the matter is, if you go home, okay, I'm going to tell all you fighters out there something right now, from my experience. If you have friends that you get high with, get them to train with you, because you get high all the time. You can't find people that train all the time. But if you get high and train, you will get high and train all the time together, and it will be fucking massive takeover, smoke weed and kill people. Serious shit. So, and then, not to mention, when you're done, you know, you guys will probably all go get high together at whoever's house is cool, and probably all go and get a whole shitload of groceries at the store, go home and cook them. Instead of trying to make it out of the gym early to the club before it closes, or for instance, we close around here around 2 o'clock, so people will be taking off trying, a little early trying to make it to, meet whoever or whatever, this and that, yada yada, at the club, drinking a little bit of alcohol. Can't go there without drinking. It could be a little bit easier to just fucking smoke a bowl and crash out so you wake up and do it all over again. You know what I mean? Mm. Not to mention when you don't want to go and you feel like shit and you don't want to train anymore, if you go ahead and get loaded, and you might not give a shit what you're about to go do. You just go do it. So, for all you fighters out there, it might be what you need instead of fucking sticking that needle in your ass. Because I'm telling you right now, these people that fucking do steroids, you know what I mean? I'm like, I wish everything was legal, because if they did steroids, then that would give them the chance to, go out there and make their mark and then burn the fuck out. And then that's when I come in, with my consistency, because I'm coming. You know what I mean? These people don't think so, but I'm coming, dude. I've never stopped. I've seen people rest and sleeping, taking breaks. They don't do good unless they get the steroids. They don't they don't come off their steroids good. Their fucking testosterone drops all the time. I see it in all these different people. I go to different gyms. And my gym's pretty clean. Everybody there, they smoke pot. They don't do drugs. I don't got fucking weird shit going on in my gyms where people paint their fucking toenails funny colors. They're delusional. They fucking think this and that or whatever. It's like we all agree with some jiu-jitsu. I don't know. Whatever, man. All I know is it could be better than fucking eating Vicodin and fucking doing steroids and fucking ups and downs. What about one consistent, way of living, just chilling and going and being, and not giving a fuck.
Nick, do you think you have an anger problem?
Huh?
Do you think you have an anger problem?
I have an anger problem? No, if I get frustrated with something, it can be pretty frustrating. I don't think I have an anger problem. Like, I don't flip out on people or anything like that. I don't think I have an anger problem, no.
Do you feel like you use marijuana to self-medicate at all? I mean, is that part of the issue for you, or how does it help you in your life?
No. I feel like, dude, you can use marijuana for anything, dude. I mean, come on now. You can use it for a sad time. You can use it for a happy time to be happier. You could use it for like what you just said right now. Self-medicate in all kinds of different ways. Like, say now you're beat up, you got kicked in the legs all day. You know what I mean? And now you just want to get high and crash out. Say you dropped a whole shitload of weight and you're fucking starving now. You got to pass 3 hours before you're going to crash, because you're not crashing for another 3 or 4 hours, dude. What the fuck are you going to do? You're sitting there walking around in circles. You get high, 2.5 hours are going to go by that much quicker, or at least when you do get high, you're going to be able to think about things that you want to think about. Like maybe, for instance, your game plan. That's just going to go on and over in your head. And then when you go to sleep, you'll probably be ready to keep thinking about your game plan while you're going to sleep. And then while you crash, who knows what you'll be thinking about? Probably your game plan, because you crashed out thinking about that. But, you know what I mean? Or you could just sit there in agony. Or hey, you could grab a shot of fucking whatchamacallit and pop some Vicodin. There you go. That would be a good answer. You know what I mean? Have some good old chemical for you. And then, it's like, dude, it just drives me crazy that the way that marketing gets everybody and fools everybody and makes them not smoke weed. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. And it sounds funny to some people, like, oh, what an idiot. I must be stupid, huh? I'm like, yeah, wow. They got you tricked everywhere you go. You think your fucking Gatorade's healthy. It's full of high fructose corn syrup. Everybody I know drinks Gatorade, and they don't even know it. It's like, dude, you can't get Gatorade in the powdered mix or whatever. They don't put fructose corn. They still put artificial colors in it, but I don't feel like that does as much to you. Especially, at least I don't feel it when I take it, but I know it's not good. But there's no they put high fructose corn syrup in everything, dude. It's in your soda. It's in your fucking juices. They put a can of kiwi strawberry juice and put a bunch of little fruits all over it. Now here you are paying for the theme of this fruit juice. You're not getting the real fruit juice. You're getting high fructose corn syrup. They fooled you in thinking that you're getting this real fruit. You're like, what the fuck? I want my real fruit. Where the hell can I get my real fruit? So now pretty much you're like starving for your real fruit. You run around trying to find some organic shit until you find it. By that time, it's good, though, because you finally found it, and in that time waiting to find it, you burnt some calories off or something like that. You know, that could be a lot healthier, but everything has got you fooled. You know, it's bullshit.
How's limeade for you? Because I'm curious. TJ drinks limeade all the time. How's that for you?
Love limeade.
What's that? What is it?
Limeade.
I don't know what that is.
It's lemonade
it's terrible.
with limes.
It's terrible for you, Nick.
What does it say on it, though, dude? Is it have fucking... What is it in? What's in there? Is it organic?
I'm fat, so of course it's not organic. It's high fructose corn syrup and all that other crap that...
Yeah, dude, but it's not because you're fat, dude. It's because they put that right there for you and then fooled you with it. But not just you. They
so
fooled
it's their fault
with
I'm
it
fat.
So that you wouldn't mind. They fooled everybody with it, dude, so you wouldn't mind. They've got all kinds of fucking fructose in there. Everyone's buying it. Everyone's doing it. They're feeding it to your kids. They're giving Red 40 to your children, even though it's fucking giving them a chemical imbalance and making everybody think they're fucking ADD, or giving them everybody a reason to say, hey, look, your child's ADD. No, you gave them too much Kool-Aid with a bunch of Red 40 in it, and now they're fucking flying off the handle. You know what I mean? Or they're on some you know, half the time you got the kid running around with the red dye all over his mouth. You know what I mean? And he's bouncing off the fucking walls, and they're like, don't give my kid sugar, you know? It's not the sugar, dude. It's the Red 40 all up in there. It's this artificial weird stuff they give them, and it screws with them. And then they feed this to everybody. But then you get this, like, organic food, and you're like, wait a minute, this is fucking real, dude. You're like, this is the real fruit. This is the real food. Why can't they just put this... Well, they can't mass produce that, and they can't store it like they can the other shit. So then... But it's like, why don't, you know... It's like, I got people around here, right, they want, I tell them, I'm like, dude, you guys won't smoke shitty weed. They won't smoke, they have to have good weed. They need their good chronic weed, okay? But they'll eat shitty food, and I don't understand that, because I'm like, dude, check it out, you eat this shitty food, but you won't smoke anything but bomb weed. I'm like, you fight, and you run around town, and you call your calls, and you meet your peoples, and you do whatever you gotta do to get your good weeds. Why don't you go right down the road a little bit further to shop and get your bomb food, your organic food? The thing about organic, I tell everybody a little trick. I'm like, hey, look, you want to know a little trick? Don't need to worry about your calories. Don't need to worry about this. Don't eating too much fatty food. Just worry about what these fucking people are doing to you, or what's going on with you that's disrupting your whole body from doing what it wants to do, which is fucking lose 50 pounds. You know what I mean? I said, cut out anything that's not organic. Don't eat anything unless it says organic on there, because regardless whether you're making the organic people money or not, and you don't want to do that, these people, whatever the fuck it is, they make sure that there's no pesticide and no better yet, no preservative. I don't know much about pesticides. I hope it's not in anything I eat, but the preservatives are gonna fuck with you. They do shit to you. You end up hungrier. I mean, like, it's just you don't want the preservatives in your food. You want food that's going to go, like, say I just ran 5 miles. Now I don't want to eat food that's going to, like, have to be sorted out. I want food that's just going to fuel right away, and it's going to be good right away. You know.
Nick, how did you discover all this stuff? Like, what? I mean,
have anything in it. So I'm like, they're like, oh, can you eat this? Does it say organic on it? No. And they're like, whoa, I'm hungry. Well, wow, good. You're burning calories now. You're fucking hungry. Go search for that food. And then sooner or later you buy enough of it, and anybody else thinks like you, they're going to start putting that shit everywhere. Because I don't know, I mean, I might sound crazy to everybody that's got Whole Foods in their backyard, but I got a fucking Rayleigh's with a little organic food section next to my house, and it's like the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I have to go down to Trader Joe's, which is fucking all the way downtown, and that place doesn't have hardly shit. I mean, they've got everything, but they don't have like a lot of produce, and they don't have a lot of shit. So then I got to go to Sacramento when I box. I got to go shopping over there, because in Sacramento you've got, you know, little health food stores everywhere, and these places are great. I mean, they recognize me, they know me. I end up getting discounts, and fucking people try to hook me up with Perfect Food, that Perfect Food supplement or whatever. They want to sponsor me or whatever. So that, you know, that works out a lot better for, you know, I got a friend of mine who lost like 90 pounds. 90 pounds, dude. I've known him since high school. He played baseball with all the other children. He was just as athletic as them, but he had to come around me, the stupid one who didn't go to school, just enough to find out how to do some jiu-jitsu and realize that, like, you know, I had to put myself through some fucking hardcore shit, dude. How do you think I'd feel after, you know, I'd fucking go run the 5 miles. I'd do all my workouts, and then we'd go to the taco truck and get a burrito with a fucking hydrogenated tortilla. You know, I won't eat them fucking. You can't even eat a fucking tortilla. You know anywhere you go to get tortillas, they're not gonna. They ain't no damn good, dude. I had to stop eating them like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I stopped eating them because they're all hydrogenated. They've got trans fats in them, hydrogenated oil, and I'm like, what the fuck? And that's especially now that I stopped eating it, I can feel that stuff. It doesn't break down and it fucks me up and gives you all kinds of problems. So now I'm like looking for organic tortillas. I can't go to the fucking burrito truck anymore. You know, like I don't eat meat. I was eating weird rice and beans and cilantro, onions, and tortillas, but we don't eat them no more. And that's a shitty thing. But you know, like so, I don't know. Food's an important thing for me. You know, and then you know, I think healthy food and healthy weed are good things. You know. So that's just what I think. So whatever. If anybody doesn't agree with me, fuck you. I don't care. You know?
Nick, who taught you about all this stuff?
Me, dude. That's what I was just trying to explain to you. I was busted when I'd go to the taco truck after running the fucking 5 miles after doing all, when I was 16, 17 years old. It was painful, dude. It really was. It was painful shit. You know, and I knew that I had to. Ass whooping taught me, dude. Ass whooping. Ass whooping was coming my way, and I had to figure out what I had to figure out in order to you know, not take an ass whooping. I needed to come out on top. I needed to do something for me, for my family, for my brother. You know, I give my brother plenty of direction, as you can see now. You know, I had to figure it out. I had to wake up and smell the ass whooping coming my way, and I could see it everywhere, left and right. I was in a crazy gym. I had Steve Heath was my partner. He fought Chuck Liddell for fucking like 17 minutes until he got kicked in his head. This was like my best friend at the time. We're training together. You know, we're training for this fight. I'm only 16, 17. Here I am watching him go all the way hardest to the fullest and still get kicked in his head. You know what I mean? It's like, and then how you know, like how does my future look at this point in time? Like my guy that teaches me jiu-jitsu, you know, is taking ass whooping or taking kick to the head, and I'm like, oh, there's my future, you know. So I got on it pretty hardcore, and I didn't stop drinking Gatorade right away. I didn't know. I thought Gatorade was good for me, so I'm drinking Gatorades, and I'm eating bars. Check it out. I went to the Carl Parisian fight, ate a hydrogenated food bar. That was the last hydrogenated thing I ever fucking ate in my life, dude. And then into the Carl Parisian fight, I had heartburn the whole fight. The whole fight, I had this acid heartburn, just fucking killing me. 'Cause I ate some protein bar that they threw inside of my goodie bag box or whatever with the shirt and some shit that they gave us all in the back room. And this fucking protein bar jacked me, dude. If I had one of these, you know, like I got all these food now that I eat I didn't have back in the day. It's like, you know, and then I've got, you know, you read supplements now and you're like, wow, I used to take this. You know, artificial sweeteners are fucked. You don't want artificial sweeteners. Like, you know, if you don't have anything in your stomach and you have artificial sweetener, it'll put like a knot or like a sharp spot like right in your stomach where it's like it's just completely fucked. You don't want. Everything has got artificial sweeteners in it too, as far as like the protein drinks and the mixes. They don't absorb as fast as they say they do. I mean, they slap a sticker on it and then they can sell it. Of course they're going to do it. But there's no one tells them that they can't.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, it's just like, dude, let's make our protein, and we'll buy the cheapest shit and put the best stuff on it, and then we'll find the best athletes and then to endorse it, and then everybody will fucking drink it. Look, everyone's drinking Rockstars and Giants right now. So, you know, those guys probably hate me right now for saying that, but you know, that shit sucks, dude. That stuff's awful. You know, I mean, I saw one of their supplements might not be that bad, but the drinks and stuff like that, you don't want to drink that stuff. You know, I mean, well, at least not if you're training like me. If you want to be like me, eat right, eat organic food, you know, train hard, do longer endurance workouts. People need to have longer endurance workouts. All of a sudden you get into these little sprint explosions. If you can learn how to counter or cut off some of those with some leverage or technique jiu-jitsu, all you got to do is push through about 3 or 4 of those intervals on the other guy's part, you know, coming at you, and he's done, dude. Then he's all yours. Then you can start your run right on his forehead.
You mentioned your training. You got a fight coming up this Saturday night with Mike Ina. What do you know about Mike?
I don't know anything, dude. I just saw one fight and one highlight reel of him, and he looks like a strong little guy. He looks like a strong guy. He's going to be strong, really rough. I'm sure he's a lot better than when I saw him in this footage of him. I guess he's been training with Shrudo and BJ Penn or something. And I don't know, man. I'm not nothing against them, but like I would. Nothing against them because like I would make sure that if I had some guy coming to fight me, that we'd have something. We'd have something in the bag, We'd have something in the, a backup plan, or we'd have some sort of strategy worked out, Like I wouldn't just throw somebody to the wolves, I don't know if they do that over there, if that's cool, or this dude needs the money and they're doing him a favor. But I'm sure he's a pretty tough guy, and they've worked with him, and they've got a strategy on how to take me out of the game here. So.
Is this fight? This fight's at 100.
Harder for this fight though than any other fight in my life. So right. I'm trained. I'm trained up and ready to go. It was Sunday yesterday. We don't train on Sunday, but we waited. We went to the gym late at night and we did the whole 3-5s. We did 8 threes. We did rounds on the bag. I got my weight down to where it needs to be. It was on a Sunday, dude. We don't even fucking work out on Sunday. I had to skip it. I skipped the day off because I wanted to make sure I shed those extra 2 pounds or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we're 6 days a week, fucking 7 days a week here and there. And it's an all day deal, dude. If you want to drop off and go do this or whatever, everybody gets ahead of you, and then you come back to suffer the consequences. So everybody kind of stays in the little circuit of training and train hard. Works out good.
Awesome, Nick. Well, we appreciate you coming on the air and talking about a variety of topics, and good luck against Mike Ina coming up this weekend in Elite XC.
Yeah, hey, don't tell any of those guys what I said about the weed, because they might be angry with me.
I think people might know now, Nick.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right, thanks a lot, Nick. Nick Diaz there on the Beatdown. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up here on the SureDog Radio Network.
SureDog Radio Network.
Are you a SureDog.com insider yet? Sign up now and get inside some of the best mixed martial arts schools in the country. Do you want to be a fighter? Yeah, I don't either. But I do want inside looks at some of the best training camps in the country. You can do this now. The SureDog Insider brings you into camps like the American Kickboxing Academy, Team Quest, Military Fighting Systems, and many others. The Insider has chronicled some training camps for fighters like Chuck Liddell, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Gabriel Gonzaga, the IFL's Pitbulls, Silverbacks, Anacondas, and Sabres. SureDog.com insiders also have access to a chat where you can chat with other insiders as well as SureDog.com staff members. You can chat American Idol with Jeff Sherwood, Creamsicles with Jordan Breen, and share your favorite limeade recipe with me, TJ DeSantis. Sign-up costs are as low as $3.85 a month. Insiders also have access to all of our radio archives. That's right, you can get the Savage Dog Show, Beatdown, Jordan Breen, and Stephen Quadros all on demand. Get inside now with the SureDog.com Inside. Jordan Breen reads a radio spot. Take one.
On a personal note, I hope you know how much this stuff upsets me.
Sorry.
Just go whenever?
Yeah, you should probably go now.
Listen up, heads. It's Jordan Breen from The Jordan Breen Show. If there's one thing I've learned in becoming heavyweight champion of the SureDog Radio Network and the king of keyboard warriors, it's that champions aren't made in the gym or in the cage. Hell nah, champions are made by watching MMA and staying clad in the sickest fight gear. And the SureDog store can hook you up. First of all, do you even know the basics? Do you know the difference between a local plata and the donkey punch? Then you better read up and grab Eddie Bravo's Mastering the Rubber Guard. Then, grab BJ Penn's MMA, the Book of Knowledge, and a hot Marcelo Garcia instructional, and his arm drags will take your game to elite levels. Now, you're not going to be a contender until you keep some fights, so pick yourself up the latest UFC and Pride DVDs, including Bushido 9, the tournament. You can't rule the SureDog forum until you diversify your library, and the SureDog store has over 230 titles for you to choose from. Now, if you want to show the world how sick your game is, you better get dipped in some fight threads. The SureDog store has gear from brands like Warrior Wear, Chin Check, and Sinister, and features the signature lines of fighters like Quentin Rampage Jackson, Chuck Liddell, Mirko Krokop, and Jason Mayhem Miller. You can even get a jungle bucket hat in case you're ever on safari, but so could you. Now, not everyone can make my pound-for-pound list, but everyone can be a know-it-all tough guy. The SureDog store, definitely exciting business.
Can I get a Harold Howard t-shirt?
I wish.
Gosh darn it. Billy stole my girlfriend again. That's the 5th time it's happened this week. Oh, how I wish I could do something to stand up to that big old bully.
You could stop pouting and grow a pair.
What do you mean, Mr. Scary Announcer that came out of nowhere guy?
Well, first you could put down those stupid-ass comics and pick up an instructional DVD from SureDog.com.
SureDog.com?
That's right. They have many instructional videos from great fighters.
Like who, freakishly deep voice guy?
Like Dan Gable, Boss Rutan, Mark Lehman, and the new one from The Heat, Caro Parisian.
Awesome! I'm gonna order one from SureDog.com and Billy up hardcore.
Good to hear, kid. And while you're at SureDog.com, check out the forum and chat with over 40,000 MMA fans from all over the world. Also, make sure you check out the latest releases from the UFC and Pride FC. SureDog.com, serving up heaping fistfuls of mixed martial arts.
Heaping fistfuls of whoop-ass, biatch.
Yeah, this is Quentin Rampage Jackson. You listen to Beatdown Radio. Don't play no games.
He's drank more limeade than you ever will. It's TJ DeSantis on the SureDog Radio Network.
Back to Beatdown, SureDog Radio Network. TJ DeSantis along with Josh Gross. I want to thank Nick Diaz for coming on the air and talking about, well, actually, I was going to say talking about his fight with Mike Ina, but we didn't really do a whole lot of that.
No, we didn't really have to.
No. Interesting interview, to say the least, with Nick Diaz.
Well, you know, Nick is going to say what's on his mind, and he's not going to censor himself for anybody or anything. And
yeah,
you know that in this world that can be a self-destructive thing. And I don't. Well, it'll be interesting to see how his career plays out. I mean, Nick is his own person and is going to do his own thing, and a lot of times that doesn't conform with the rest of the society and how people want to do things. And you know, maybe he can get away with it. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's his prerogative, and he has some beliefs, and that's what he does. And you know, it's interesting that he was open about it as he is, and I guess you can't fault the guy for speaking his mind. You know.
No, never. Of course, you don't want people to lie, and you know, there's always, you know, you can have a little more tact. But hey, I appreciate it. You know, Nick's a unique individual, absolutely.
Yeah. And, always a solid interview.
Well, yeah, he's you know, we don't need to ask very many questions. That's for sure.
I think we asked like 4.
Maybe get him back on track along the way, but you know, I think it's interesting the way he lives his life, and he's, you know, this is a guy that runs triathlons and you know, Ironman triathlons, and you know, that's how he. I don't know. I think the world is better off for people like Nick Diaz, and that's maybe a strange statement, but I think individuality is an important thing, and he definitely has that. I think he's a nonconformist, and you know, we'll see if the marijuana gets in the way of his fighting career. It very well could. Yeah. There's no doubt he's going to have a bullseye in the back of his head.
But I mean, you know, there's a bunch of other guys that are probably doing the same stuff that Nick Diaz does, and just not being as vocal about it.
And the vocal people are the ones that usually pay the price. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how commissions treat him. You know, he basically said he's going to continue to smoke pot, and you know, he'll clear his system before a fight. Yeah,
can you get mad at him for that though? I mean, if he's smoking the marijuana or whatever and flushes his system out and passes the pre-fight and post-fight drug test, I don't know if you can get mad at him because he's doing everything that they say according to their guidelines.
Well, I don't know. He chooses to do what he wants to do, and if he gets caught and pays the price, he's going to get caught and pay the price. I mean, I think he's come to accept that. Now he's lived through this 6-month span where he can't fight. The issue is if it happens again, next time it'll probably be a year. If it happens again, he might have a lifetime revocation of his license.
Yeah.
So this is why, like, I was, you know, sort of asking a couple times, what's more important to you at this point, fighting or smoking pot? And they seem to be both very important pieces of his life and who he is, and it sounds like he plans on doing both.
Yeah. Well, again, I want to thank Nick Diaz for coming on the air with us. Yeah, we're way over time, Gross. This is the longest beatdown ever, I think.
That's fine. I mean, I didn't want to cut him off. It was good stuff.
Solid for sure. So we'll be back on Wednesday. We'll focus a little bit more on the fighting aspect of things on the Elite XC card. You're not going to be here on Friday, so I'll have to figure out something for then. But until then, Gross, I guess we can hang out and chill or something.
TJ,
Eat organic food.
Start eating organic food, and you can smoke pot or not, I don't know. But
can I? I mean, is that against the rules? Can I? Nick Diaz says it might help me.
I think you don't have the discipline, and you'll end up at Jack in the Box, so that's going to help me out a lot. But, you do what you want to do.
Well, I'm taking everything into consideration.
I'm sure.
All your help. Email
All right.
TJDeSantis@SureDog.com. All right, Gross, we'll talk to you on Wednesday, man.
All right, man.
What a show. What a show. Again, thank Nick Diaz. You just got Beatdown on the Sure Dog Radio Network.
It's a beatdown. Everybody's tuning in. Take a seat now.